live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Questions and Answers live at the Mommie with Slick Nick Hunnits. And today is our 13th episode. And today our special guest is Muffy, Mr. Muffy Michael Collins. Say hi to everyone.
Hello. Peace and love. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. So for people who don't know who he is, you need to get familiar with him. We're going to get a little bit in his business today, and he's going to tell you about his different foundations and the work that he does. He's the founder of two foundations, Run from Prostate Cancer and Sky Blue Music Festival. He's also a retail branding consultant and curator. He's an event planner and curator, and he's a prominent pipeline to kids in Chicago high schools and colleges for basketball going to college. High school going to college, yeah. That's right. Okay. So give him a round of applause. Yes. And we're going to start off with getting to know a little bit about him. So what side of Chicago did you grow up in?
South side. So I'm originally from Robert Taylor Homes. I lived on Robert Taylor Homes in Washington Park area, Woodlawn, 6th and King Drive, 6th Kenbark. I spent time in 115th from Harvard as a kid. And it was, I'm coming from a street background family-wise, and I think my mother made some of the best choices to evolve to get away from the situation she was going through. We ended up moving to Wisconsin for a period of time.
Oh, wow.
Back and forth. So it was the best of both worlds because it was a difference, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? So we went from one project housing to another.
Okay.
So it's the same familiar faces. This is the Section 8 boom,
Right.
And so still back and forth. This is 2 hours away at Madison, and I got a bunch of connections that was built there, and it all worked together full circle. So it's appreciation from both. That's what made me who I am today. In terms of everything I've been doing for all the years.
Okay. What high school did you attend?
I ended up going to Madison West. So I played basketball. That's what took me many places. So in the 90s, AAU basketball was huge. Got to travel many places. So my start was at Washington Park, the playground. I was going to tournaments out. I was playing out west. Of course, out south, high schools, things like that. My uncle took me all over. So we would hoop all day long. And it started getting attention at a young age, especially AAU basketball. So it was a decision to make. You go to Kenwood, you go to Madison West, which had a recruiting pipeline and national attention. And that was, to me, that was the best thing because it was artsy. I was like a hip hop kid, so I loved that. It was right near the campus of the University of Wisconsin. So I was like, what do you want to do?
Right.
And my grandfather didn't have a park at the time. He was just like, yeah, I make a decision. And so that's what I chose to do. I wouldn't change it. It was a beautiful thing because I was a part of these summer enrichment programs with all the kids I knew from the city.
Okay.
So Providence St. Mill, King High School, missing somebody, Whitney Young, all in the same. So it's like I never missed a beat, if that makes sense, for a period of time. And it was cool. We got I loved school as a kid. I loved to read. I loved to challenge the teachers. So that was me in a nutshell. My grandfather kind of still is black pride, black history. He was super pro-black, and it rubbed off on me and my siblings and my cousins.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Well, that's good. So you have any kids?
I do. I have 4. I have a set of twins. They are 16.
Okay.
Yeah. They are. My daughter is a volleyball American, track and field American.
Okay.
My son is in basketball. I never wanted to force anything on them.
Right.
I see most parents, they do that. And it was like, this is what they want to do.
This is what they naturally
this is a natural thing. And I have a 11-year-old son and I have a 6-year-old daughter. And they all love sports. And it's so crazy because I don't even put that
Right.
I'm more so like academics,
Right.
sport.
I think it's something that kind of be influenced all the time anyway.
You know.
Okay.
And, yeah, so I think that's, we have a strong history of sports in my family. It was over 11 went to college for sports.
Okay.
My grandmother, she was a track star in high school at Hyde Park. Both of my grandmothers in Hyde Park together.
Okay.
Same time.
It was a family affair. Okay. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Taurus. I turned 40 on the 26th.
Okay.
It's coming up.
Still young. You got a birthday on the way. So what inspired you to start the foundation that you started, the Run from Prostate Cancer?
I think it was, we had my uncle's restaurant on 63rd and Vernon. Tennessee, on a spot called Ace's Soul Food.
Okay.
And just all the guys who grew up with 6 King Drive, coming back east, everyone was speaking about health issues that was going on in the community. So this is like around 2011. So we ended back in the restaurant, and three of my homies was like, I think my father got that shit you was talking about, prostate cancer, because he sent his back hurting, he can't use the bathroom, he uses the bathroom so much. I'm like, we need to go to University of Chicago because that's the best doctor they can see, at the moment, in terms of black men. And so I was like, you know what, I gotta maybe hold a meeting to see like if this may be the outlet for us to go. And so I would see how some of the brothers gravitate to me. And I had to understand, like, I was one of the ones that went to college and had education and knowledge, so I was able to give that, you know what I mean? And I looked at it from like, I owe them this because these are the same guys that protected us when we was playing basketball on the streets when we was kids, So it's kind of like a full circle thing. And so we went from having meetings to planning to getting my close friends involved. Well, one of my guys, Chati, his father owns Renner's funeral home.
Okay.
And I was asking him how many prostate deaths, do they have and things like that. And he was just like, man, it's a lot. And I'm like, well, we gotta do something about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're young and they're looking at me. I'm going into the hospital like, you're not a doctor.
Right.
And I'm like, this is going on in my neighborhood.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's something that we didn't know about, as well. So I'm like, we had to do something. So I was able to kind of like build, connect the dots, kind of get more information, like pass pamphlets out, go get screened here, use an alias, have insurance, like all these tricks we had to do to get men like screened and seen. And so that was like the foundation of, I said, you know what, we gotta add events to bring people out. Basketball is a no-brainer, let's do a men's basketball game. Which I was like, the foundation, we gotta do kids.
Right.
Because that's how we get the men out, bring their kids, and we can get them educated on prostate and prostate health and prostate cancer. So it just, we put a 5K walk and run together, prostate health seminar. So we just put all those things together, the events, and now we have men coming out, bring their families, we make it real family based.
Right.
So like that was the startup of it. And it's a 7-year of events.
Okay.
We're 12 years in foundation.
Oh, that's good. That's real good. So yeah, so you're finna be 40, so that means you were like 38. 28.
Yeah, I was young.
Yeah. Okay.
I just thought about like all the stuff we didn't have.
Well, they're now making women get it now, because that's what I have a thing. I have to go get one. I forgot what she said. I think women have to start getting screened now at 40.
Yeah, for breast cancer, ovarian cancer.
No, for prostate now. I think it's 40 something.
We have prostate. Only men have prostate.
No, not for prostate, but for it's not prostate, but it's rectal. It's
rectal cancer is becoming big because of the food.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. So that's what she was saying, not prostate. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Right. But yeah, that's now they're making women get screened. Like, so yeah.
And that's good because if you don't screen, if you don't get screened, you don't know.
Right.
Like my grandmother died of colon cancer at 52 years old.
Right.
29.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
And that's young.
And that's young. And she was from Argyle Gardens.
For real.
And
what block she was come from?
I can't remember. I was so young. super young.
Okay.
And we actually did a food drive out there. 2020, we did a food drive, and it was so I see some of her friends out there that came out. I see she was a little bitty boy because she ended up moving closer, to the city because of going to the doctor and church and stuff like that. And one thing I talk about all the time when we have our meetings with the Northwestern Cancer Board and Chicago is what we can do about our cards because that's the highest cancer rate.
It is.
That in Bronzeville, in the world, like top 10. This is like a real thing. So it's like, why are we not talking about this and why we're not doing more screenings in the neighborhood and like pulling them out?
Right.
So, we'll get there.
Yeah, because I like mostly all of the older people that come from Outdoor Garden. That's where they end up passing away from cancer.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The radiation, the water.
I watched this lady dig her backyard up. She dug her backyard up, made her backyard really cute, and then like a month later, she was in the hospital. Never came back home. I don't know what was in the dirt. She had did her yard real cute, and wasn't nothing wrong with that lady before that happened. So, yeah. Okay, so the Run for Prostate Cancer event is a yearly event now.
Mm-hmm.
Along with, so how did the Sky Blue Music Fest come along?
So I love festivals. I travel all over the country for them. So I'm a music lover.
Okay.
So that we need to add something to Alana. I started a foundation here. We have the Hyde Park Fest now. It's closer. It's like Woodlawn Hyde Park is really close.
Mm-hmm.
Both neighborhoods benefit from it, but I wanted to have something in our neighborhood where our kids can see positive influence.
Okay.
So we have the basketball tournament directly across the street from the Southside YMCA, which they granted us the field for 5 years for the community work we've done with them in the past. So we wanted to do something that was like positive, that just have like tons of purpose. And of course I heard like it's not gonna work, and why do you want to do this? And it's like, people they can't understand like one thing can lead to the next, and that's the goal.
Right, and it always happens like that.
Yeah, and we think about people. I always think about everyone else around. You're creative, you have events going on, you have this person has that. We get together in a room, that's how the world operates.
Yeah.
That's why you see so many partnerships with corporations, they get together and make so much money. It's like, how come we can't do that in our own communities? You know what I mean? So even from I thought about the vendors, we have so many healthy vendors that food to hair care products is all natural.
Right.
And these products have been causing cancer in our community for so many years, all like the chemical they put in there. So now our message is we got healthy products, we got healthy food, we have good music, and we have people active. We had kids come out asking could they come in. And it was a beautiful thing. They came in, it's like, okay, come in. And they felt good about it. So these are the same kids that talk about that damage the community. We got to pour into the community.
Yeah.
And I think that's our gateway. So we gained some partners along the way, some good people that's come in. We can't announce all the program we have, but we got some good things coming for the community.
Okay.
Especially for the kids. You know what I mean? So I'm happy about that. I really am.
That's good. So when is the actual Run for Prostate Cancer event for this year?
September 2nd and 3rd.
Okay.
So we have the prostate seminar. It's so much. It's so many events. It's like 7 events in one weekend.
Okay.
So the prostate health seminar is September 1st at the Southside YMCA.
Okay.
So we will have Black urologists, Black nutritionists, Black doctors. We have a Black genetic doctor. So all the doctors are Black because we did our research on what Black men wanted and what they didn't want.
Right.
They want to see someone look just like
us. Right.
White doctors have been lying for years. So
right.
we thought, okay, we want somebody that's going to be real with us. And so we had a Black nutritionist from the beginning, like, fellas, that's what you got to do.
Right.
And one guy lost 60 pounds. He was at risk for like diabetes, hypertension, all the diseases. He said the doctor was trying to give him all types of medication.
Yeah, that's what they do because that's what the U.S. tries off of.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the biggest drug
And he
dealers.
said, I can't do it. We also have a brother that survived colon cancer.
Okay.
That comes out, he speaks as well too. So again, we're making strides with this, and people are identifying like, okay, damn, what did you do? How can I do this? Because I have to be here for my kids. And so now, even with the life insurance, which we bring the life insurance brothers out too, black.
Right.
They work for major corporations, but they will tell you in a minute you can't get life insurance if you at risk, you have this, you know what I mean? Like they will tell you, you're not eligible.
Right.
You can't, we draw your blood, we can't insure
Just
you.
like that, yeah.
Right. So like even with me, my life insurance went from like $137 to $97 a month. They tested me and was like, okay, what are you doing? You're in the top, 5% blood that we draw your blood, we check all your levels, and everything is green. And so I tell the guys, like, this is a real thing. Like, you cannot get, so when you pass away, you can't leave your family members, very expenses, all for me. Like, these are the things that we go through in the black community. So it's like, we have to stop being selfish on how we live and think about everybody else in our family. Think about what our ancestors fought for, and they crawled.
For so long. Exactly. Okay. Definitely. That is a lot. That was deep. It is. So when is the Sky Blue Music Fest? It's held.
It's the same weekend. It's September 2nd.
Okay, so it's the next.
It's the same weekend.
Oh, so it's the same weekend.
We made pretty much like our all-star weekend on one block. On 6th and Stone.
Okay.
That's what we did. It's kid friendly. So the music fest. You have vendors. Of course, we do panel discussions from an art perspective, a black love perspective in the community. So we're really engaged in how we communicate. Like words mean so much, and I can empower you, you can empower me. Like you never know. You're in a room talking to somebody. Yeah. It's like, oh shit, there's some magic here. Yeah. Let's make it work. And we've noticed it over the years. So we've been doing like panels for the people discussions over the past year. Okay. Right? After post-pandemic and stuff like that, to play it safe. But even we do these free screenings every month for prostate cancer. So all that is a part of the music fest. Right. You come out, you can get screened at the high school right across the street, where there's great basketball being played. So the best high school basketball team in the country I played in there. You got the festival across the street. Okay. Then you got we do yoga, a mass meditation in the mornings before we do the 5K walk and run on Sunday. You know what I mean? So it's like. And so
where do you start and where do you end?
We start at the Y. Okay. So this year we're going to have a different route because of construction, because they're building the library right across the street. So we've been speaking with the Woodlawn Chamber. Okay. About them getting involved, but I think the goal is to get more involved in the community from their perspective. Like we need y'all to get involved with us. We're doing the groundwork. We're trying to help out. We're getting the people to get
So do you get a lot of help with the community?
From the people, yes. Political, not so much. Okay. Not yet. I won't count them out, but it's like y'all come in, we still gonna do what we gotta do for our people. Right by our people. And so I think now when they're seeing, it takes time. Mm-hmm. And like, oh yeah, we didn't know you knew. Yeah. You seen the emails, you read about it, and things like that. It's so weird because I have a proclamation from the city of Houston, directly from the mayor. Wow. You know what I mean? And here we can't even talk to the alderman. Yeah. So we clean up the streets, we clean up parks, we've done everything that they're supposed to do. Right. To make everything safe. And it's like, oh, okay, nice. We're gonna keep fighting.
That's what's up. You gotta keep. So nutrition wise, what do you put in your body?
So I did the study to see the history. So I took literally a year. I was reading all types of books. My mom died of colon cancer at 52 years old. So that means that she was going through this illness for 10 years. Okay. So at 42, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I was like, man, I gotta study this. I really do, because the colon is so close to the prostate.
Right.
So I was just looking at how the world operates. Different countries don't even allow like 80% of the food that we eat.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, okay, women are going through, black women are going through ovarian cancer, breast at a high rate, prostate cancer is the highest cancer rate in the black men community. So I'm like, okay, it's something we eating.
Yeah.
And meat and dairy are prostate killers. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a study, so we look at different diets around the world. I'm like, okay, what's the prostate cancer rate of death rate? 0.02%.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is crazy. I stopped eating meat in 2008. Growing up, I really didn't like the texture. You know what I mean? It used to tease me like with chicken and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I tried it, and it would make my stomach hurt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I cut that out. I tried like turkey. I said like it just made my stomach just feel super uncomfortable. Like this is not for me.
Okay.
Maybe it's not for our bodies.
Right.
We just never really paid attention to it.
Right.
And so the meat was the issue. I would eat cheese pizza with my kids. That would be like the only dairy thing that I would eat. I cut that out like 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
That was like the only thing in dairy I would eat, you know, time to time with them. And even from that, I felt even better. Okay. And so I was like reading reports, dairy, meat, it's just so much stuff that's packaged wrong, and it's bad.
Yeah.
So the nutritionist, she speaks from the farmer's market diet. You know, we know we can't change, we can't tell every man like what to eat, what to put in his body, like high, you know, fruit and vegetable intake. More water. We don't drink enough water in the black community.
Yeah, I've learned I have to drink a lot of water.
So so I love like water. The tea, green teas are really good for you.
Okay.
Turmeric, pumpkin seed oil, black seed oil. This is some of the stuff
Yeah.
that we grew up with our raised black community. Like the old folks always had chlorophyll. Black seed oil. This was something that
oregano.
Exactly. We just never paid attention to it. Like after
nobody's gonna touch that stuff anyway. That's just like somebody trying to get you. What was that? What's the stuff they used to always try to get? It was some kind of oil. I forget the name of it. It'll come to me.
Mm-hmm. So I started like researching that what it does for the body. You know, turmeric prevents cancer, ginger. And so we have our table setups, you know, at the basketball games, even like at the probably have seminars. Like this is the stage supposed to have. Like pumpkin seeds are so good for your prostate because it kills the bacteria in your gut.
Oh, I know, but I like pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, so keep eating, right? And so this helps men out, helps women out, obviously, but it's very potent for the prostate. So that was one thing. I'm like, okay, let's keep doing this, let's keep getting this information out. And so they always speak about like medicine. Take this, you need to have zinc. Like you get zinc from mushrooms.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you tell the brothers this, and like, well, you know, like this is higher than zinc. This is actually better for your body.
Better.
You know, and it helps your colon out. And so you talk about kidneys, and you talk about the detox that you have to do if you're smoking, if you're drinking off, you doing all this stuff, you got detox. So we tell brothers, fast. If you are eating this way and if you can't kick it or whatever, but if you fast, you can remove these bad habits.
Okay.
Because the bad habits are being passed down generation after generation. And then there's an excuse we make for ourselves, or we can't afford for a vegan lifestyle. Yes, you can. It's actually cheaper than meat is expensive.
Yeah. Well, everything is expensive.
Everything is expensive, right? So if you're going to eat fast food every single day, it takes a toll on your body. It's not good for you. You can't function. You know, we complain about the kids. I mean, they're acting. So they acting because they got all these chemicals in their body. So they don't know how to act.
Yeah.
And they're babies. You know what I mean? So I think that's what we have to more so focus on diet at a young age. That's why we teach the boys about prostate health in high school.
Okay.
There's prostate issues in their early 20s right now.
Oh wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So prostate, the gland is like this big, and it's your reproductive system. So our babies are getting this at an early 20s, then how are we going to continue to find ways to grow?
Right.
We could be non-existent. You know, I pray that it never happens, but we're speaking about the optics of like this is real time.
Right.
And so these are the issues, and we just found ways to curb it, teach them to do better, but actually to ask more questions too. Women go to the doctor your whole life.
Yeah.
Just every year you gotta go for your checkup.
Yep.
And the average man don't go because of the last checkup they need is high school, like basketball or football, whatever sports they play in. And once they get to college, depends if you're going to play basketball, sports, or whatever it is, yeah, they might require you to do an annual checkup, check your knees out, but they're not checking like your organs.
Yeah.
They don't care. So most guys from 18 to 30, ask how many times they've been to the doctor, like, or maybe one time.
Right.
And so they don't even know what's going on in their
Going
body.
on.
And you know every month.
Gotta
So
go get your blood work done
Exactly.
and everything, see what the levels are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so we don't know as men. And so these are the things that we're fighting for, to get the more education out to the men. Go to the doctor, get screened, go get this checked out. Genetics, go see what someone else had in your family.
Yeah.
And we can kind of cancel.
Because that's what they always ask you. They want to see what your family history is about. And and if you have a history of it in your family, then you should start screening earlier than normal.
Yeah. You look at Chad Boseman, passed away of colon cancer.
Yeah.
45 years old. So that means it was developing in his system for years. So it took for him to pass because it was a national attention, global attention,
Mm-hmm.
where now the colon screening went down like 5 years. You get what I mean? So that was required 40, that was 40. So it's like, why does it take for a notable person? You have thousands of black people dying from the disease in our community every year. And so like for screening for the brothers, we've been fighting for years just to get free screenings. Just to come to our neighborhoods, like, can you please come? You know we're dying. It's been J-word doctors have returned my phone calls and said that we can't help you out. They would tell you this directly, and so that's been a fight. And I'm just glad that American Cancer Society is involved now in both University of Chicago and Northwestern, where it's not only we're fighting for prostate cancer, obviously, but we're fighting to get information for breast cancer, ovarian, so everything else. So we have to punch in and say, this is what we need for our whole community. So,
right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So this event right here, because you have this going on with a part with Northwestern Medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So get into that and let everyone know about these two events that's coming up, because these are coming up. You're partnering with them, but this is not your foundation stuff, but you're partnering with them, and this is about to come up.
So we've officially partnered with Northwestern Medicine in a comprehensive cancer center to do the monthly screenings for free.
Okay.
For prostate. So we have a men's health event where Candace Henley, so she's the founder of the Blue Hat Foundation. So she was just featured on Good Morning America.
Okay.
Last week and the weekend before. So she's been doing it. She's a colon cancer survivor. Okay. And she's been fighting for 20 years. She's been fighting for black women to get screened in areas like undeserved areas. Yeah. And she's been really fighting. And so we met through Northwestern. She likes the work that we do and said, you remind me of when I was younger, just fighting for the people. Yeah. She said, I never had prostate cancer. Okay. And I said, I'm going to fight for brothers that don't have the education. Right. And she losing people, they don't take liking until it affects them. Until it affects them. Yeah. To me, that's selfish because if I love you, you're my brother or my uncle, whatever it is, you're my family, And so we made this work with a screening madness where it's people love basketball, the fellas do. NBA playoff games going on. But it's Q&A engagement style, so we can talk to bring the young boys out, to bring the men out, to just communicate, do we need help with going to the doctor or making phone calls, whatever it is, we can do that. And it's so anonymous too. Okay. It's not broadcast everywhere, so there is something going on. I text my friend this event. It's April 23rd from 1 to 4. And so he said, give me a call when you get this message. This is a close friend of mine. Okay. And he said, now I got a question. Like, what made you start? I never asked you what made you start this foundation. Right. Who was affected by this? You know, did you have about this? I said, no. He said, well, I have cancer. Right. And I almost dropped the phone because he's 40 years old as well. Right. Not turning 40 soon. And I was like, damn. I didn't know what to say because this information was so quiet. And he's like, I felt embarrassed. I felt like I couldn't speak with anybody about it. Right. And so these are challenges and the things that we don't want to go through. Again, we want people to, like you said, get screened early, get the education out, but most importantly, teach our boys it's okay to talk about your health, talk about everything else. Yeah. You know what I mean? Definitely. And so it's crazy in our society. It's so cool to talk about guns and violence and killing. Everything is of the negative. Yeah, it is like here we are. We can save each other. All we have is each other. When you think about it, you know, the support. And so this is how this event was created. It'll be more of these, but this is April 23rd. So it's April 23rd, Sunday, April 23rd, from 1 to 4 p.m. And this is a men's health event. Yep. And it's going to be a discussion on men's health and the NBA playoffs watch party as well. Obsidian Club. Okay, Obsidian Club. I didn't want to mess that word up. It's okay. 5401 South Wentworth. Yep, so that's in the mall area right off the dead right. Okay, yeah. Next to Southside Federal Credit Union. Okay. Which everyone should be going there. That's the only black federal credit union in the country. Oh, it is? Mm-hmm. Greg Brown, a good brother. He's always supported us too in terms of like health and getting information out. And he has a health initiative. Like you join the federal credit union, you lose a pound, you get $1. This is to keep our community healthy. Oh wow! Yeah, and so that's pretty cool. It is. You trying to lose weight? You get paid $1 for a pound. And he said something interesting in our last event. He was like, people always question me, like why would I put my money in your bank? And he was like, well, CTA and CPD, they have the biggest accounts. Right. And they all bank with us, but why are we not banking? I can help you get mortgages and everything like that. And when you're healthy, they look at all this stuff. They have a data research on your phones, and I want people to pay attention to this. This shit is so crazy. I learned this at LA. I was like 4 blacks, and I was the youngest one. I was 3, like maybe 50, 55, 60 at the foundation event in LA. And so they have a data research. They're saying they track our phones. So if you take the phone, you go to the bar every day, you go eat over there every day, whatever it is, the insurance companies policy are collecting the data from the phone. They're paying some third-party company, and they're saying, hey, this is what we're going to charge for insurance because they can die from this. Oh, wow. You follow what I'm saying? So this is why it's so important to change our habits. Right. We already at a deficit in our community. Yeah. We're behind the 8 ball. So it's kind of like, what do we do? These are the challenges. We speak more to this, but I'll say that to go exactly what Mr. Greg Brown was saying. Like, I want to get us more healthier from the financial perspective. Right. I want to live to spend money with you and, you know, your family, your kids, and everything like that. So it's a lot of layers. Yeah, definitely. It is. But it's a start. It's a start. Yeah. So, and then there's also this right here, and this is on April 22nd on Saturday. Yep, that's good. So that's for the family. And explain a little more about this. This is like get into the root cause they're going to be doing. Yeah, so it's like the family secrets kills families. Mm-hmm. You know, so especially in our black community, we eat bad, we have bad habits, we just do bad things. Not all of us, but a large percentage. Yes, this is a fact that we don't like to tell the truth about certain things. Right. So there's black doctors that got behind this initiative and saying it's a survey we have from our own people that we don't like communicating out what's going on. If a brother told me like, hey, I got cancer, I was embarrassed to talk about that. That's a secret. that he's holding from his family.
Yeah.
And so people need to know about heart disease, cancer, hypertension, diabetes, arthritis, dementia, all this stuff, mental health, illness, depression. We go through a lot of trauma, especially like Chicago, Detroit, LA, New York, Philly.
Yeah.
These are some of the cities where there's high crime. And so we're so immune to it, it's not right. And it takes effect on all of us. And so we eat bad, we drink all the time, we smoke, drug usage. We know what the design was.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think we're smart enough to say, damn, we gotta clip it, you know what I mean? To get us healthier. So this is to remove those barriers, to have that open communication, and to bring your families out to say, hey, this is what my dad went through, my mother went through this. I don't want to go through the same thing that she went through, the pain and suffering. And you see like fuck cancer and use so loosely online, like it's a cute thing to say, but like, hey, we trying to prevent it because you do know like other countries don't go through what we go through in America.
Right.
So let's have this conversation. Let's not wait until someone is gone to figure things out. But this goes to show you that we not have enough conversation one-on-one time with each other.
Right.
Social media has taken a toll on all of us. We don't even, we're socially awkward.
Yeah.
And I say, how are you doing? Okay, what's going on?
We don't socialize.
We don't socialize at all. We just think someone posts a picture they're doing good and they could be going through so much.
Yeah.
So this is what this event is about. And that is that's April 22nd.
That's the Saturday.
10-11:30, and that's at the Timothy Community Corporation, 43rd and Drexel.
Right. Okay.
And so I think this would be beautiful for people just to come out if you can. But just come. There'll be more events that they're going to be getting involved with, and even with us, with American Cancer Society. Which I'm happy that they're saying, hey, we want to really work with you. And there's going to be so many different segues to other stuff.
Right.
We got a his or hers event they're working on for prostate and breast cancer, but obviously those are the two most talked about. Not necessarily talked about in our community, but like highlighted. And so we're gonna make it comfortable for you to bring us in out to get screwed together, have these panel discussions, talk, Q&A. And the reason why I wanted to have this approach because I might feel comfortable with coming with you because you're my partner.
Right.
So my support system.
Right.
You gotta be there for me, And I said, this is what we have to do. We gotta bring families back together.
Right.
And that's the approach. So that'll be moving down line out. I definitely communicate that out with you so you'll know, get involved. But it's important. It really
definitely is. And I think you're doing a wonderful thing. It's really cool. Because, that was put on you. That was put on you to do. This is something that God gifted you to do. Let me see. So how is both of the foundation and everything that's going on with that starting? How has that impacted your life? In what ways has it impacted your life?
I think in being super transparent, it gets stressful at times because you deal with a lot.
I can imagine.
You deal with a lot of no's and whys. I'm like, what do you mean why? These are my people. You know what I mean? So you see how all these industries work, and I say, you know what? This ain't no stress. Don't let, because what our people went through behind us, that was some real shit.
Yeah.
Consistent for years and years. Even hearing my grandparents' story, just hearing this, it's like, you think about it, I can't complain about this.
Right.
They made it a way for us to, all those sacrifices. So, it's a sacrifice for us to, move down the line and get better as people. So, yes, it's a lot of hard work. I don't take a day for granted. The communication tool is the best thing. It's like we're getting in active in more events across the country. We're part of the Brooklyn 10K run. That's our 40th anniversary, so we'll be a part of that. Okay. So we're extending out our reach, and this makes it better for our city too, because it'll bring more attention, more awareness, which we want. But I think with the scheduling and working it out and getting more of the kids involved, both of my sons, this is when I'm gone, Steve, you all will take over this,
right.
you know, for many men to come after. Because it's trust me, it's gonna take years.
Yeah, it is. It's just gonna continue to go on and on because if we're not putting the right things in our body and we're not taking care of ourselves, it's just gonna continue.
Mm-hmm. And so, even with me pushing the envelope with so many of these corporations, that's why I call this medical field, because it was a time where, and if you know their story, like I was fighting, I can't even say the medical name anymore because they tried to press my line a few times, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I was sending emails, and this lady, she was a VP of this major company, and I'm like, okay, how can we make this work for Black and Brown in Chicago to start and we can spread, because this is a global thing. The disease is national more so, but they have a global business.
Right.
And I'm like, how can we, you know, get you all involved? So I'm emailing back and forth, and they're all looking. Michael Collins, my government name, sound white as hell. So I get there. We in the meeting space. It's a beautiful day. I'm seeing these pictures of. I can mention Susie Coleman. She's breast cancer.
Right. Yeah.
Queen. Right. Generating $38 million a year. Generating $38 million a year, so she can deliver whatever she want to do in partnerships with every major brand. Right. I mean, the list goes on. I'm asking for. I ain't asking for money. I just wanted to support our guys. That was it. And the families. And when I get there, you know, they had it set up nice. It was beautiful. I'm like, oh shit, okay. God working with us.
Right.
They looked at me.
Like, oh shit.
You black. I'll never forget this. It was just like, they gave me a pause moment. Like, okay, can you hold tight? 3 of them win. I'm seeing, you know, somebody texting and stuff. I'm like, oh, man, it was bullshit. And I got an email the next day because they pretty much like canceled the meeting.
Oh, wow.
Something came up. And I was like, damn, all right. I really thought something came up. Until I went to sleep, I woke up like, man, ain't shit come up. And then they go, we can't support this. We're gonna be busy during this time. And mind you, this was like 8 months before the event even took place. And so that bothered me. I didn't sleep for like 3 straight days. I was so upset because I was thinking about the shit that our ancestors went through. And it just make you just so angry, like, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, it's gonna make you stronger. Don't give up because it's something that's going on. I just thought about all those doctors that kept telling me no, it's gonna be yes, it's coming soon. And so that was one of those moments I said, I would never give up on anything in life. I won't give up. And we still got a lot of work to do. But look how far, you know, we came.
Far as came.
We got impressions as far as emails, stuff like this, but over 500 emails that have come in about, hey, I'm getting screened, I'm in this city, I've had webinar calls with Nordstrom.
Okay.
Twice. This is Nordstrom.
Right.
How does that even happen? The Black Employee Network wants to get involved.
Right, okay.
So, okay, that's good. Just keep spreading information.
Right.
That's all we care about. Just keep spreading it out. And so when you put that together and you communicate with people that's like-minded and saying, hey, how can we work together? I have this going on, I have this. Okay, let's put it together. We can grow strong together. So that, and then the basketball tournament is just, we see the reaction on kids. Right. Even the kids is coming to play like on the side gym, but they there. And it's doing Labor Day weekend, which is an extremely violent weekend for our high school kids. And so we got over 400 kids in the gym on the weekend.
Which is a good thing.
We saving lives.
Yep.
We showing them something different. So this year in the gym we have arts and crafts.
Okay.
Development tools using their hands. So we got their hands in the gym, doing stuff, building, communicating, reading. It's going to be like these pocket sessions.
Okay.
They too tired to do anything else.
Yeah.
They had a good time. It's game changing. They learned something else. Maybe this.
And there was a part of something.
Part of history.
Right.
And so, you know, that's what it's about. A lot of work to do. We got other cities that we're to as well. But it's like people like yourself invite me to be here, to be on your platform. You know what I mean? You never know who this may touch.
Right.
Yeah, so it's.
And I'm glad you came out.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So definitely, I'm really proud of the movement and everything because it does take time. Like you said, this is the 7th event, but it's been 12 years.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that itself just speaks volumes or whatever, and how far it's came to this point. So that's a good thing. So I'm definitely going to make sure that I put that information on my page as well and put it in the information for as far as on the YouTube. Where they can be able to, when they do watch, when people watch, they'll be able to click in to see the information as well.
Yeah, I'll send you everything from the website. The website is run from prostatecancer.online. So we just, educate people with everything they have going on there with that. Tons of activations, even just tons of cool stuff like this, relatable with our people that we like. But just like our board is strong. We have Jesse Davis. This has been extremely valuable in terms of like community outreach, working with the youth, preventing violence, things like that. When we implement Marcus McFarland does a great job of just staying in communication with the city, you know what I mean? And Leroy Brown, very instrumental with a lot of stuff. The Hyatt, like he works well with like programming and getting us event spaces. So it's like these moving parts where everyone is doing everything.
That's what it takes to make the machine move.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. So, again, I'm thankful for it. My family, my friends, my mom. She was in the medical field coming up, and I think I kind of like took some of that. Like my dad, he was super creative. He done so much, from his life experience. He passed away at 18, but I kind of looked at like the body work that he done. He was in the streets, and just it is what it is. But through creativity, I'm always connecting people with my medicals. I'm like, you really are your parents' child. And she's very proud, and because the first one I told her about it, she was like, "You don't have a battle in your hand." Yeah. But hey. Yeah. You push through, and hey, sometimes you think about like, because I have an event to do. I be like, I think I want to do this. But yeah, I mean, that's why I definitely said it's definitely something that was put on you from the Most High and he gave it to the right person. Definitely. Yeah. Well, keep moving, and we definitely want you to be a part of like what we have going on, because even with your event space and giving me the tour, and it's beautiful, but that's the creativity we want, because it's appealing to the eye, and once you got the eye, it's like, come on.
Right.
Let me guide you because the trust is already built. It's like, oh, you did this?
Right.
So like, for real. It's like, I have more too. Come learn the rest.
Right. And I'll definitely be a part of it. Thank you. So what does a plate of food for you, your favorite dish, look like to eat?
I've always been a green lover, like green, like kale and mustard greens. I love sweet potatoes, whatever you want to call them, candy and sweet potatoes. Man, I love them. But I love fruit. Like, I'm a fruit person. Okay. I can eat that all day long. Watermelon. I mean, it's cucumbers, tomatoes. My sister eats tomatoes fresh. And tomatoes are good for your prostate too, fellas. So, make sure you. But a good plate, I love like healthy pastas too, like spinach, mushroom, sun-dried tomatoes, just something light that's not heavy. Because like history, because I got really read about this stuff. Like, we used to eat once a day. Yeah. And America, morning, night. I eat something light in the morning just to put a little something in
but most of the time I found myself I always just ate one time a day. But I always try to eat like at least before 7. Give my full chance to digest. I don't like eating late. I can't lay down and feel comfortable.
Yeah, okay, it's not a good sleep for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like me, but like Sweet Green, I love the restaurant. I love Soul Vegetarian, Johnny. Those are some of like my favorite, restaurants in the city. And then like when I'm in Houston, I went to college with More Better Brews, so I love the Taco Tip restaurant. New Orleans with Sweet Soul, so all the best vegan restaurants in the country, I have.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's so fresh, but you can taste the freshness of the food.
Yeah.
It doesn't leave you sluggish.
So you don't do all that plant-based stuff.
So that's the trick. It's like
I already know.
It's plant based. So does that mean?
But it's highly processed.
That's what I mean. That's what it's made of a plant. You get what I'm saying?
So that's why I'm looking like that's not healthy.
It's not. So you look at it, and it's added a lot of additives.
Yeah.
And chemicals, so you got to read that stuff.
It's highly processed. I didn't read the back of it. I call it UFO.
Yeah.
Unidentifiable food object.
There you go. So even I love like the Bon Santé. Health Star have partnered with them for so many years.
Okay.
And even like, the chefs that are there,
okay,
they tailor everything they use in the food. Like, okay, use grapeseed oil,
right,
olive oil, you cook it at a low temperature. So it's like, when you have people that's communicating, understand what they care about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Conscious Plates is in Milan area now, it's 630 Maryland.
630 Maryland? Okay.
Super good. Tastes good. They use like grapeseed oil as well, but they take their time. The food may take a while to come out, ahead of time, but you know that it's good, it's fresh, it's not processed.
Right. So I've had like jackfruit before, like jackfruit tacos and stuff. And jackfruit is a fruit that you can make it to taste like something really good, like tacos and stuff like that. But you can see the process. They have the processed ones too in the stores now. But you can get the fresh one yourself and just do it. I've eaten vegan food plenty of times, like sometimes just vegetables and stuff. I'm really up to having all my greens, and I like the colors in my food, so I'm big on having all the peppers and all of that stuff in my food. So yeah, chickpeas, stuff like that. So yeah, okay. So we're finna get into some off limits. So this is off limits. And off limits is you're gonna pull. I'm not gonna go through all your cards because this was like an information session. So we're gonna go through a couple of cards and we're gonna have you pull them. Now, if we pull something and I read it off and you just don't want to talk about it, just say off limits. Okay. And then I'll go to the next one. Okay. So pull 5 cards for me. Put them to the side. I'm gonna read them off for you.
Okay. I'll put them here.
Yeah.
What color did I pick? I didn't pick pink.
No. Okay. Favorite Nas song?
Oh man, there's so many. Oh my God. Taken in Blood.
Taken in Blood. What album was that on?
It was ready.
Okay. Okay. What's your best physical feature?
That's tough. Best physical feature. And
that's what you think it is. What do you think is your best physical feature?
On me?
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about that.
So it's not something that you favor more on yourself?
No. I never thought about that.
Maybe your hair, everything.
I'm going gray. I'm almost 40. I'm going bald at the top in some places. I never thought about that. That's tough. I couldn't answer that. Maybe in my younger years, because of basketball, you had to always work out. Maybe like abs was a thing like back in the day. If we get older, we don't do the same things anymore. But I think.
So that's what you're saying?
I guess so. So many years ago.
Okay. Something that's a turn off.
Something that's a turn off. Bad energy. People like low vibrational level. I think that's horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't like talking to people.
I get it. If you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be?
One thing. I think it would be social media. I think I would. Because we grew up so different, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it was much fun.
Phone, it was fun. But it's like now, like I have kids, they're on social media, check their stuff. You know what I mean? And
it's like you're doing too much when you're going there, even if you're promoting something. Because I just kind of use it like that for that aspect of it, and then I like the affirmations and stuff like that.
Right, and so that's the stuff I like to look at. Like you posted that, and you feel my friends. So it's like I love that because it's a separation of like what you're seeing. Like you're seeing like violence, you're seeing this gore, you're seeing all types of crazy stuff. And it's like, you remember the time we grew up, like we really called what you doing, we all get together and we just have fun.
Yeah,
games.
it was no fun.
Board games, like hand movement.
Nobody was in their phones. There's always someone talking, make up a game to play and stuff like that. It's like nobody is making nothing up anymore. Everything is just, and even the sketches and stuff that people are doing for laughs, that's all like made up. Yeah. It's not natural anymore. When at first it was natural, then now they're like, oh, we can get paid off of it. Yeah. So now it's a whole skit. What's the weirdest habit you had as a child?
The weirdest habit. I would take my books, I would read them like walking down the street. I write poetry. I guess that was weird too.
That's not weird.
But we talking about to a different kid. Like I love books. I love history books. And so as a kid, it was just like, why are you reading walking down the street? You know, it was, I caught myself laughing at, at books and things like that. And I think that may have been like one of the weirdest things that, from the outside looking at, to me, I thought it was cool.
What's one of your favorite childhood books?
I love Curious George. My mother introduced me to that. I wasn't a Dr. Seuss fan at all. And then like I got older, I'm like, I was racist. I'm glad I ain't really taking them books. What else? I love the old Sesame Street books. Like the old schools. I think the ones were like from like the 70s, 80s. I think those were like cool because it was like detailed. And it was like a regional thing too.
I used to love the Junie B. Brown series. Because she used to always those used to be good. Then they turned it into the Babysitter's Club.
Oh, the Babysitter's Club? I'm picking 5 more.
Yep.
Okay.
What's your favorite color and why?
Gray has been my favorite color since I was a little bitty boy. It was just so clean to me. I love gray. Like I have a lot of gray clothes.
It's neutral. It's like a freshness.
guess. Like my mother used to be so mad at me. I'm a person that if I like something, I get it like 3 to 5 times. So I might have
Oh my goodness.
3 of the same shirts, 5 of the same thing. That's.
So what's your favorite shoes you used to just keep getting over and over?
My favorite shoe, high school. I used to get in trouble for traveling over the shoes. Every time I went to New York to get a pair of shoes.
Oh wow.
The shoes my.
But they only got released in New York?
Yeah, my first love. In basketball, obviously, but the jewel check Air Force One, like 98, 97, 98, and I had to have all those colors. I had to have all of them.
Oh wow. What favorite series have you been watching on TV? You get a chance to watch TV?
I do at times. You know what? It's crazy because my family used to joke with me all the time. Like, I was really never a TV person. I was more like a movie person. So I love like all Spike Lee movies. So my favorite people, because the storylines, it all comes full circle, and it connects with all of us in some way.
Yeah.
And I remember my aunt was one of the producers of Teen Summit.
Okay.
So we were going out there to DC with her. So I love, like, that was my type of TV, and then like fast forward in time, I did have to kind of like adapt. It took me like 2 years to watch Power. And then I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, and I watched some other series like that. I did get into Snowfall.
Okay.
You know, got into that. But Snowfall, it's a lot of hidden messages.
Yeah.
That people really don't pick up on.
But it's like based off of the real Rick Ross
Yeah.
life, and so there's a lot of stuff that was going on with the government, but there's still a lot of stuff going on there.
It goes on.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, those shows.
Okay. If you could change one thing, what would it be?
If I could change one thing, I think. I know we can't go in the past, because if it was up to me, I would change so much. You know.
Yeah.
I would love to change so much because of the pain. We're still suffering from so much pain.
Yeah.
But I would change how we operate as a Black people. I think I would want us all to be on a level playing field with each other, help each other grow. I would change that. It wouldn't be you're better than me, I'm better than this person.
Yeah.
Together.
Something you purchased of $100 or less that has positively impacted your life in the last 6 months. And every time I ask this question, I'm like, $100 or less?
Everything is so expensive.
Expensive, but it's the simple things.
Mm-hmm.
It's something simple that has impacted your life.
I did. I bought another Blue Note jazz book I was looking for when I was in New York some months back that I couldn't find anywhere, and I found it was huge.
Okay.
And I'm a jazz lover.
Okay.
I have to hear jazz. This is my grandfather just being around him. But I have to listen to jazz every day, and that book, it told me some of the stories. Well, it still tells me I'm still going through it, but it's giving me the backstories and stuff that I always ask. Like, okay, what happened? We be talking about jazz is equivalent to hip hop.
Yeah.
And I think it had a more global impact than hip hop.
Yeah.
Hip hop now is, of course, you know, records and everything like that, but that shit had the world in a chokehold. You talking about for like 50 straight years. Yeah. In hip hop, that's where it comes from.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just to see how they kidnapped our culture as always.
Yeah.
And they drugged us all up, took the rights to everything, and you see what jazz did for so many Black families back then.
Back then, yeah.
Like I would love to get Herbie Hancock involved. Like he still has, from what I'm told, he still has a house in Woodlawn. So I would love to have him come to the music fest because Hyde Park kid, Hyde Park High School, so it's like I want to hear those stories. You know what I mean? The community needs to see that.
What would you say people misunderstand about you the most?
Believe it or not, I take the feedback. I take it, but I'm criticized for being too nice. So I take the feedback from people that really care about me. But I tell them, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I saw my family went through, mother had me, 16 years old, so I saw her struggle, you know what I mean? Stepfather was in and out of prison, so I saw that story. My father just wasn't there, you know what I mean? So when you see your peers go through the same thing, he was like, well, how can we change that we went through? It's just a natural act of mine. My grandmother was a loving spirit. My grandmother's still living. My grandmother passed away as well too, but they were both so nice. My grandmother that passed away in '99, like she was so involved into like church, community, feeding people, sports, program. Every time I'm with her, it was everything positive. I never seen her in an argument. I never seen her raise her voice. And so we go to her service, and it's so packed with so many people. You think this was a celebrity, and it's like this how many people she touched. You know, and I was like, I always want to be remembered as a person. Okay, how can I touch people? What purpose? What can come from this? You know what I mean?
Like when you're no longer here, what would the people say about you?
Yeah, and how they maybe can finish what I started.
Yeah.
You know? But I think that, and then my mother's living. Beautiful soul historian, Woodlawn baby going through, has the pictures from our neighborhood. She's upset.
Way back then.
Yeah, this hotel, like showing everything. And she's upset about the school. While I was working, they got $54 million from Boy Life for team. And I remember we sent the email downtown. We had a food drop there. We want to open a school for the neighborhood to do like greet. We know it's like people will come home from prison.
Right.
I have friends come home and just get 20 years and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, jobs and like placement, maybe we can do culinary arts, trade for the kids that may get kicked out of school. Like the school is so big.
Right.
And it was like, well, it's available for 1.5 million. So I'm like, we calling, we texting, okay, how can we raise the funds for this? And the city, of course, I can match it. And they denied us. So when I told my grandmother about that, it was, without her saying nothing, you heard it over the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, like, this is a beautiful soul. And she's in her 70s, early 70s, and she still care about her community, you know what I mean? So when you have that in your blood, it's kind of like, it's so hard. You know, there is days I'll be like, I gotta tell these people no, but it's like, damn, I've been told no, and I might be the yes that may can help this person out.
Right.
You know what I mean? However it looks right now. So I think that's the thing that bothers people.
Okay. These gonna be the last 5. So pick them wisely. I'm gonna shuffle. I actually was 16 when I had my first child. I had just made 16. Yeah.
I realized like you grew up with your mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's more like our brother sister.
Yeah, I can see you used to drive me home. I was letting him drive. He was probably like, yeah, he was young. I was letting him drive. Your most annoying trait as a human.
Most annoying. And that's my annoying.
Yeah, something so I say like you irritate me when you do this. Something it could be a noise you make. It could be anything.
That's so funny. My family, I know I annoy the shit out of them at times. I'm like, what are you doing? I always, I would randomly ask like my cousin, like, what are you doing? It is, I always catch them off guard.
And that's your word you always say?
Yeah, like, because I know they be bullshit in life in general. And I like to be, I had to channel myself back because it was like that perfection mode I always wanted to strive for. But I had to understand everyone isn't like you. Everyone don't want the best they can be. And so I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And it annoys me because like, I ain't you. And I was like, no, I'm not saying you have to be me, but I'm saying, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I get it. Favorite fictional villain?
We've seen a lot of villains. Favorite fiction? It could be movie?
Yeah.
Okay. You seen Clockers before?
Yeah.
Hi, Rodney and Hale.
Okay. Favorite rap group?
That is so tough.
Yeah. I pulled that question one day and I was like, but then somebody helped me remember.
Like, I'm a 90s
Yeah.
person. It would have to be Mobb Deep. It's either Mobb Deep or Wu-Tang. I'm going towards Mobb Deep.
Okay.
I don't know what's in the water in Queens, but they got the most rappers ever.
you like the Queens.
They
like
got
the
the
vibe.
most ever.
I asked you, well, favorite food to eat. You kind of told me that you like your greens, kale and mustard. Kisses or body rubs? What you like to get?
Oh, can't get tired. It has to be one of them.
Well, you just say one gotta have the other.
Body rub. I think body rub leads to kissing.
Yeah. Well, okay. We'll accept that. Okay. So we're finna get ready to end this, but this is the last part. This fragment, but it's called Set the Record Straight. So it's if there's anything that's like been put out in the atmosphere, got misconstrued in any type of way about you, that you might want to set the record straight about, then this is the time to set the record straight. And if there's nothing, then
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think that's tough because I don't know what's out and nothing has been communicated back to me.
You know, some people just have.
Oh yeah, some people just don't like you because of who you are. But I think that I will say one thing that I noticed that was fucked up was people that I've helped kind of help build them up, whatever it is they have going up. And my thing is, it's never strings attached with me. It's always, if I do something, you do that for the next person.
Right. It's like
Just
pass it forward.
Keep the shit going. And so people will always come back to you when that shit didn't work out, whatever you helped them out with. They never fuck with you or talk with you when that shit is going on. And so I noticed that over the years, it's like you might have somebody that might get a beautiful job, just say programming, for example, they might not reach out to the people that helped them get
Help
there.
them.
They will run. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then.
Oh yeah, and it's just like at least think about the people
who look down.
Mm-hmm.
I say that all the time, but that's why I say when I do things for people, I do it from my heart.
Your heart.
So at the end of the day, if that's the type of person you is, I'm glad it's showing me the type of person that you really are.
Mm-hmm.
And I just move on because everybody just, that's just life.
Yeah, it's not, it's crazy, but that's why I was saying earlier, if I could change one thing, we'll all be here.
Yeah.
Because you look at all these people that have done so much, in their lives, from making tons of money, making tons of progress, what you think, and it's like they never said, let me just, I'm going to do a little bit, and this is from the company, it's ain't for me, but it's for the company.
Right.
And it's like, God don't operate like that.
Right.
He's going to take it.
Yeah.
And so,
indeed.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on my podcast today, my 13th episode. I really appreciate it. And tell people how they can follow the foundation and get involved and come out and everything. Give them your handle on Instagram and everything.
Yeah, it's Run From Prostate Cancer.
Run from.
We're running from this thing. Yep. And Sky Blue Music Fest, we have some announcement coming up soon. Run From Prostate Cancer online. So it's going to be some updates on that coming soon as well. So that's where you can reach us at. Our email is runfromprostatecancer@yahoo.com.
So if there's anybody who's watching and might want to become a sponsor, they can go in there.
They can email us. They can hit us up on the social media handle, Run From Prostate Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Email address is runfromprostatecancer@yahoo.com. And we respond to every email. That's what we do. We have meetings weekly now, which is good. We love them.
Right.
Keep having because the conversation is growing. That's maybe two to three more black men actually know about this.
Right.
That's the goal from this. But I think most important, we want people to think about their loved ones and think about what's going on in our community and just show their appreciation for what you have going on the other media outlets that work so hard to keep our energy going, our posts and all this stuff like that. So I don't want to take this for granted. Thank you again for having me here. And please, let's build her up. Like we build everybody, we make these white folks billions of dollars. Let's do the same thing with this platform that she's creating.
Thank you.
And these little things mean so much. Believe it or not, like I've turned down a substantial amount of money from some people with hidden agendas.
Yeah.
And that's what I stand for. So I would take this because this means will. This is purpose,
Yeah.
And I got criticized about that too. And I would have took them just like, no.
Yeah, everything. I had to learn all money is not good.
It's not, yeah. So.
Yeah. So yes, definitely anyone want to become a sponsor, and if you're out there and if you know your family history and you know that runs in your family, make sure you're going to get tested and you're doing the right thing about your health and look into you figure things out on your own. Like you're gonna listen to people, but we know the stuff here in America is not right. So it's different choices you need to make a better you and get those tests done, guys. Definitely got to do that. Get those tests done.
Please go. And it was just January 1st this year. It was approved by the state of Illinois for free prostate screenings at the doctor.
So it's free screenings, right?
Just ask your doctor. They draw your blood. It takes 15 seconds.
Okay.
And they will tell you in 2 to 3 business days where your numbers are. If they're above a certain number, they gonna go behind it, and fellas, it is what it is. They gonna put the finger behind you, and that's the process. If those numbers are high, and that's how they find out how can we remove whatever it is we have to do. The next steps to help prevent prostate cancer from spreading.
From spreading.
Yep.
Because it's not a death sentence.
Right, and this is one of the cancers, but it can be coming if you let it.
If
go.
you don't do anything about
Right.
it. So yeah. So take the initiative to take care of yourself. And we want to thank Muffy for coming on here and spreading this word and getting this information out and letting people know. And you guys could get involved as well. There's different events that's going on. I'm going to put those under the link of the YouTube thing, and make sure you follow him. If you want to sponsor, make sure that you reach out and you do so, because this is for a great cause and it's for our community. So thank you so much, Muffy, for coming through. And yeah, we're finna end our thing.
All right.